Paul writes a great passage out of 1 Thessalonians 5 on Christian community. We ask you, brothers, to respect those who labor among you and are over you in the Lord and admonish you, and esteem them very highly in love because of their work. Be at peace among yourselves. We urge you, brothers, admonish the idle, encourage the faint-hearted, help the weak, be patient with them all. See that no one repays anyone evil for evil, but always seek to do good to one another and to everyone. So, how do you cultivate community in a local church? You're bringing all kinds of people from different backgrounds. They have different ideas about life, different vocations, different socioeconomic positions there in life. And here's just a couple of principles that might guide us along a little bit. The first thing is obvious: Christian relationships can be messy. You're put into a community with people that you might not naturally be friends with. Your friends, you kind of pick and choose. You like baseball, they like baseball. You like the same food, you play the same instruments, and you pick and choose in the world who your friends are. But in the church, we are brothers, as it says, and sisters in Christ, not because of common interest in life, but because of our common interest in Jesus. He is the one that brings us into the community of God's people. These relationships are bound to be messy. There's also things like admonish the faint-hearted, be at peace one with another. That shows us in Thessalonica, these relationships were messy and they can be a challenge to work at. We also learn here that respecting leadership works to cultivate community. Paul tells them to highly esteem those that are over them and laboring in the Lord. And then he talks about community of God's people. So it's important to esteem those. You say you're a pastor, this is a little self-serving, maybe a little bit, but it shouldn't be. To esteem those in the Lord that are working over us, so that they can also help cultivate, lead, and guide the Christian community. We don't believe in clericalism, where the clergy or the pastors dominate the laity or something like that. But we don't want to be anti-clerical either, where we're constantly rebelling, so to speak, against those over us in the Lord. There's that proper balance of highly esteeming and the Christian liberty to carry out love in the community. So valuing that leadership can cultivate community. Number three, work hard at relationships. These are not easy things to do. If you've ever tried to quote unquote admonish those in the Lord that they're kind of going astray or doing some things that are out of step with God's will, you know how hard this can be. Be at peace one with another. That's only a few words, but that takes a lifetime to learn. We got to work hard at relationships. And the most important thing here is we want to practice the gospel in each other's lives. The whole tone of this passage is setting aside our own rights and our own privileges and our own ideas to love other people as God has loved us. That's exactly what Jesus did for us. He set aside his own privileges, thought not of himself, but loved the people, not only his disciples, but his church, and loved the world. So we practice the gospel. That's our power for Christian community. Like Jesus, we set aside our rights. We're willing to sacrifice one for another, and we're willing to serve each other in love. May God bless you and your Christian community.